Rule 1: Never ignore your fitness. Physical fitness is not only one of the most important keys to a healthy body, it is the basis of dynamic and creative intellectual activity. John F. Kennedy. Whatever you want to do in life, fitness always comes first. Fitness, while seen as a good thing to possess, is not usually the first item on a list of to dos for a successful life or career. You will probably wonder what's the point of building biceps when I am preparing for IIT JEE? Why should I build cardiovascular strength if I am trying to get a decent job? Why is this advice here? I am guilty of thinking like this in the past. I know now that it is the wrong way to think. The first rule, by a big margin, for a happy and successful life is to always pay attention to your health and fitness. Read on. My mistakes with fitness. I was always the fat kid, roly poly, chubby, healthy, in a bad Punjabi usage way, and fat were the terms used to describe me as a child. I did not realize it then, but somewhere it is altered my personality. The fat kid classification had an impact on my confidence. Not only did I feel underconfident about my looks, but I also felt underconfident about myself. In school, I kept away from sports even as I envied my classmates who played basketball and cricket. Somehow I had accepted my fate. Some kids are just fat and I am one of them. I told myself. I did not ever think it was in my control and that I could exercise and watch what I ate to fix the problem. I also saw food as one of the big joys of life. I grew up in a household where there was constant conflict, especially between my mother and father. My father was exceptionally strict with me. Also, something I have not really talked about before is that my neighbor, an older boy, used to molest me. In this messed up situation, food, especially the tasty, unhealthy kind, was one of the few things that made me feel good. From chole bhature and rasgullas to halwa, malai chini, toast, and condensed milk on bread, I would eat whatever I could find. I convinced myself I was not meant to be athletic or one of those sporty kids. I would study. If at all I participated in extracurriculars, it would not involve any physical activity. Perhaps that is why I took to writing. This attitude continued through college and into my work life, where I was in a bank abroad. In every picture with friends or colleagues, I used to be the one who was most overweight. I still did not do much about it. It took me a long time to realize my mistake. The lack of fitness and played havoc with my body, mental state, and happiness. Sure, I had many other things going right for me. However, I could never enjoy my life as much as I should have, nor could I reap the various mental benefits fitness provides, which may have helped me achieve much more in life. Today, I prioritize fitness over anything else. I have not missed a workout in 5 years. I run, I lift, I try to eat well, take care of my sleep, and control stress. Everything can wait, fitness cannot. I am not perfect, I still slip, particularly on my diet. 45 years of indiscipline is not easy to wipe out, but I am striving to get better. Every day, one step at a time. And I assure you, you can too. Why fitness? People pursue fitness for several reasons. The three main Ones are aesthetics, physical strength, and mental strength. Let's look at each of these below. Fitness for aesthetics. A big reason for people to start on a fitness journey is to look good. Most people want to get a hot six pack or look slim in pictures. It's a perfectly valid goal, though this is not why fitness is the number one secret rule of life for me. Sure, looks matter in life, no matter what you do. If you are good looking, life gets easier. There are obvious professions where looks are extremely important, such as modeling, acting, and so forth. However, in the real world, a handsome accountant or a beautiful lawyer will also have certain advantages over their peers at work. It is unfair. No. The quality of one's work should be the only basis of judging people in an office, isn't it? But an office is full of human beings, and human beings are not fair. A good looking or attractive person, by definition, draws more attention. The quality of work should be the only basis of judging people in an office, isn't it? But an office is a full of human beings, and human beings are not fair. A good looking or attractive person, by definition, draws more attention. In all likelihood, it also encourages people to judge them more favorably, whether you are at a job interview, making a point in a work meeting, making a sales pitch, or raising money for your business. Better looks help. They get you those few extra seconds of attention and a positive response from the listener, which you can then use to sell yourself or your ideas. Sure, without substance, just looks won't help beyond a point, but assuming you do have the substance in place, good looks are a great advantage to have. You cannot change certain aspects about your physically, your features, height, hair, etc. But you can, in most cases, control your weight. You can also become muscular and toned, which is a great enhancer of looks. If you are a short, bald, and fat man instead of a short, bald, and fit man, there is a big difference in how people will see you. If you are a girl, being fit is one of the best ways to enhance your looks. Hence, aesthetics or looks is a good enough reason to pursue fitness. However, the two reasons that follow are even more important. Fitness for physical strength. Becoming fit also means becoming stronger and having more endurance and power. There are other aspects such as balance, flexibility, and agility as well. Today, we don't need raw strength as much as humans did tens of thousands of years ago. But then, humans had to climb trees to pick fruits, they had to chase and fight animals to hunt them, they had to build houses and collect hay to keep themselves warm. Today we have remotes and touch screens with which we can execute nearly any task with almost no effort. This does not mean we don't need physical strength in present times. We still need a certain amount to go about our day but not be absolutely exhausted at the end of it. We need stamina to sit and study for long periods of time. We need to travel from place to place to meet clients or close business deals. We need to maintain our homes, ourselves, and our families, all of which require physical stamina and strength. Without some degree of physical strength, the battle to make a class jump also becomes more difficult. Can you stay up all night to study for an entrance exam, or does your body collapse under the stress? Can you visit 10 stores across various parts of the city to sell your product, come home and reply to 2 dozen emails and answer 10 phone calls? Can you do all this and still have time to be with your family and play with your kids? That is what it takes to survive and win in life. If each day ends in massive exhaustion, how are you going to live your best life? Fitness is vital for physical strength and endurance. Greater physical strength and endurance not only boost your immunity but also reduce your risk of health complications such as cardiac issues, diabetes, and hypertension. Fitness for mental strength. The mental benefits of being fit make it the first secret rule for success. Innumerable scientific studies now show that exercise leads to mental well being and lower stress and anxiety. Added to that is the fact that fitness routine also toughens you up to face the world. Fitness is hard, the world is hard. Fitness comprises exercise and diet. Exercise requires motivation, focus, and discipline. It demands pushing aside that inner voice, making excuses, or anything you to quit. This is exactly what success in life requires as well. Every time you go to the gym or go for a run, you are basically doing net practice sessions for the world. Exercise requires motivation, focus, and discipline. It demands pushing aside that inner voice making excuses or asking you to quit. This is exactly what success in life requires as well. Treat the aesthetic and physical strength benefits as byproducts. Hard exercise teaches you to control your mind. It tells you to keep going when you don't want to. Bodybuilders with decades of fitness experience say that on most days they don't feel like going to the gym. However, they have trained themselves to ignore that quitter, loser, excuse maker voice inside them. You will constantly battle with this loser inner voice throughout your life. This voice will tell you to choose the easy way out. It will direct you towards instant gratification. It will encourage you to be lazy, eat unhealthy, drink alcohol, watch TV non-stop, and spend hours on Insta Reels. You have to become good at telling this voice to shut the hell up. Exercise is great practice to learn how to silence your loser voice. The second part of fitness is controlling your diet, which also teaches your many life lessons. To diet properly, you need non-stop discipline. Planning a healthy diet requires you to pay attention to what you eat 24/7. This is unlike exercise, for which you need to push yourself for about an hour in the gym. Maintaining a good diet will also require you to give up temptation. You have to resist and say no to that pack of biscuits in the kitchen, the mithai box left over from Diwali, ice cream at a party, or plate of french fries in a restaurant. The more you practice restraint, the better you get at self control in other aspects of your life. A good diet also requires massive patience. You don't become fit if you eat well for only one day. It takes months, sometimes years of work with no daily results to speak of. Discipline, resisting temptation, patience, all these qualities help you in life as well. Fitness is not just a way for you to be in shape and look good. It is a life laboratory. It will help you build the ability to endure pain and give you pleasure, which is phenomenal power in life. Society will constantly toss cheap pleasures at you: video games, TV, OTT content, fast food, and social media. Most people are soft and weak. They will get sucked into these pleasures. But if you become strong, not only physically but also mentally, you will choose the necessary pain over pleasure. Eventually, you will win in the gym and in life. Hence, it all begins with fitness. A good, practical Fitness routine. I'm no fitness expert, I'm a fitness student. There are tons of online resources that you can access if you want to get started on a fitness plan. You have been created, they have been created by experts who do it for a living. YouTube channels such as AthleanX or the Buff Dudes, for example, have wonderful videos on diet and fitness. There are fitness content creators like Alexa Clark on Instagram. Some Indian YouTube channels include The Body Workouts, the Shilpa Shetty Kundra, and Mind with Muscle. A lot of the content on these channels is free, and I recommend you spend some time going through them to figure out which one will suit you best, as each individual is different. Here, I can guide you in a real practical way. I can tell you what works for me. Someone who has never lived, never who was never fit throughout my life. What I have found is that people don't lack information about how to achieve their fitness goals. However, it is their mindset which prevents them from breaking bad habits. It is the only people or it is only when people realize how being fit flows into every realm of success and happiness, and that it is indeed the number one thing to focus on in life, that they make a real change. Hopefully, what you read above has somewhat helped you change the way you see fitness. A basic fitness plan for people like me who never took fitness seriously. Keep it simple. The simpler your plan, the more likely you are to stick to it. This applies to life in general as well as to fitness. While my plan is universal and basic, I realize every individual is different, as is the starting point of every fitness journey. You could be really overweight right now, in which case your priority will be to lose some weight, or even though you may be not be fat, or you may feel weak or less energetic, and therefore you need more strength and stamina. Feel free to tweak the plan below as per your requirements. I also recommend you consult a doctor before you incorporate any new diet or exercise regime in your life. The three pillars of fitness. Fitness is composed of three pillars. These are sleep, diet, and exercise. For each pillar, you need a simple, effective system. The first one is extremely important and is the least discussed, so let's start with it. 1. Sleep. Multiple scientific studies show the direct impact of sleep on our happiness and energy levels in our life. We feel and function better if we sleep better. Good quality sleep for a sufficient duration, which is around 7 to 8 hours for most people, is a must if you are chasing success and happiness in life. A new day does not begin when you wake up, it begins when you go to bed at night before. The first step to having a great day is getting sound sleep for the requisite hours for the previous night. A new day does not begin when you wake up, it begins when you go to the bed the night before. Studies show that during a full night of sleep, we make our emotional and physical recovery. That is why if you have not slept enough or rest fully at night, the next day either your head hurts or your body hurts or you feel light-headed and weak. Along with recovery, other subconscious processes such as hormone regulation occur during sleep. If you don't get enough rest, it will lead to hormonal imbalance and make you perform suboptimally. Your concentration and focus for studies, your gains in the gym, and your creativity will be affected by the lack of good sleep. So, here are some ways to ensure good sleep quality. Your fitness plan, sleep. Number 1. Sleep on time and at roughly the same time every day. If you read up reliable material on the science of sleep, you will find that our bodies have evolved to the circadian rhythm or Earth's natural cycle of day and night. When it gets dark, certain hormones are activated in our brain that makes us less alert, more relaxed and eventually make us feel sleepy. In an ideal world, we should sleep soon after the dark. However, it's not practical to do so in modern life. For those with regular working hours, setting a sleep time between 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. is a good system. But you can set whatever time works best for you. Note that a sleep time means being in bed with the lights out and with phones and other devices kept out of reach by that time. 2. Don't look at bright screens before you sleep. Many of us, yes, I am guilty of this too, scroll through our phones right before we go to the bed. Bright light at night confuses our brain's circuitry, triggering the release of daytime hormones and neurochemicals. These include neurochemicals that make us feel more alert, making it difficult to sleep. Some of the content we watch at night on social media could be disturbing as well. This can cause a clutter of thoughts and anxiety in our head and lead to overthinking. All undesirable things before going to bed, so keep away from that screen and charge your phone in a different room at night if you can. 3. Ensure your room is dark, quiet, and cool. Studies show that darkness and optimum temperatures correlate to a better night's sleep. Blackout curtains, cardboard sheets, or whatever it takes to make your room dark will help. If that is not possible, get hold of a comfortable eye mask. Similarly, cut noise levels or get good earplugs. If you have air conditioning, set the temperature a few degrees lower than you do in the day. Though you have to ensure it does not become uncomfortably cold either. These little steps can go a long way in preparing you for a good sleep. 4. Don't drink alcohol or caffeine before bed. Both these substances affect the quality of sleep, although in different ways. Caffeine is a stimulant which blocks sleeps, inducing chemicals from reaching their receptors. This is why the world is addicted to tea and coffee. Caffeine makes us alert and energetic, even if for a while, which may be helpful in the daytime. I, for one, love coffee and the perk it provides. However, you don't need such stimulation at night. A good thumb rule is to stop consuming caffeine post 2 pm. Though different people have different levels of tolerance, alcohol too has a detrimental effect on your sleep. Studies show that while alcohol may make people feel sleepy, the quality of sleep one gets after consuming alcohol is poor. One does not get deep REM, rapid eye movement sleep, the phase during which the maximum rest and recovery happens for us. Ideally, one should not consume alcohol at all because of its many other harmful effects apart from poor sleep. If one does consume it, it should be on rare occasions in limited quantity and several hours before one's sleep time. Avoid having more than 2 drinks in one evening and overall no more than 7 drinks a week. Many of us attend parties that carry on late into the night and involve excessive alcohol consumption. You may think you are having fun or bonding with friends, but regular consumption of alcohol could lead to addiction, liver damage, and many other problems, including hurting your sleep cycle. Cut out alcohol completely or reduce its intake as much as you can. 5. Cut stress from your life. This is easy to say but hard to implement. Stress reduction often requires making considerable changes to your life. When you are working hard to make those class jumps, there will be stress. There is also stress in daily commuters, family obligations, relationship expectations, and your work life. Anxiety comes from uncertainty about the future. Studies show that while stress in moderate does helps us focus, too much stress has detrimental effects. Stress leads to the release of hormone cortisol, which impacts sleep quality. You cannot eliminate stress completely, but you must aim to lessen it. Only keep the stress that arises from things most important to you and let go of everything else. If work and family are your focus, ignore all the other nonsense, what others say about you, and what people expect from you. For instance, we stress too much about things that don't really matter to us. Similarly, try to cut work commutes or other routine stressors to the extent you can. I would rather live in an apartment half size but walking distance to work than far away in a bigger house. A peaceful life is far more valuable than a few hundred extra square feet. You cannot eliminate stress completely, but you must aim to lessen it. Only keep the stress that arises from things most important to you and let go of everything else. 6. Wake up on time around the same time and get some sunshine. If you sleep around the same time every day, chances are you will start waking up around the same time every day as well. Maintain this even on weekends. Your body works best when it matches the daily rhythm of the earth. This is not just a poetic concept, it is scientifically tested. It is an amazing self regulating system designed by nature which makes us active during the day and relaxed at night. Sadly, humans have created this modern life which has led to the disruption of the beautiful sleep and weak wakefulness cycle. Once you wake up, don't use your phone at all in the first hour. Okay, I know that sounds like punishment. Fine. No phone for half an hour after you wake up. Get some sunlight, ideally not through a window. Be exposed to daylight, even though you don't have to be directly under the sun. The morning sun rays help release hormones and neurotransmitters in your body, which makes you alert and energetic throughout the day. 2. Diet. Once you sort out your sleep, it is time to attack the second and, at least for me, toughest pillar of fitness, diet. You have heard the cliche, you are what you eat. A balanced, nutritious diet is easy on paper. You know what you must do: eat less, eat healthy. You understand that vegetables, fiber, protein should be the bulk of your diet. You are aware that you must limit fat and sugar, and yet, after a day's work, when you are tired and hungry, and then see a spread of a hot samosas, chips, mithai, and chaat, all this knowledge goes for a toss. There is something about food, at least for some of us like me. Food is fun, pleasure, warmth, comfort, and joy all around into one. This is not a great way to think. Food is meant to be fuel. For early humans, Food was hard to find, requiring hours of foraging in the jungle and facing the risk of being attacked by a wild animal while trying to find an evening snack. Today, humans have altered all that. Food is now available easily and relatively cheaply. Multinational companies sell and market food designed to tickle your taste buds and give you a rush of sugar. You don't need to hide from a pack of wolves to find an apple to eat in the forest. You simply open the refrigerator and take out a tub of ice cream. Clearly, our bodies are not designed for this hyper convenient world of super flavored foods. Fatty and sugary foods evoke an evolutionary response in rhetoric days, chancing upon an item with high sugar content was equivalent to hitting the jackpot. Since both sugar and fat give much needed energy to the body, humans would rush to eat it as they knew they may not get food the next day. Today, a plate of samosas and gulab jamun evokes the same primitive response, even though there is no scarcity of food around you. None of the readers of this book, I can bet, will ever have to fear starving to death. Yet, we can't seem to control our evolutionary response and end up messing up our diets all the time. This is the core issue behind every failed diet plan. You and I will never be able to fully overcome the temptation to eat unhealthy food. Unhealthy foods are designed that way. What you can do is, with practice, find a balance in your life. Aim to mostly eat healthy, but also let go a bit sometimes. However, ensure that you only let go a bit. Such are the consequences of eating the highly processed junk foods of today that one cheat meal can screw up a week of good dieting. Enjoy occasional moderate treats, but commit to living a life of largely healthy eating comprising real natural whole foods. Eventually, you will start enjoying healthy food and craves less for the unhealthy stuff. Your mindset will shift and food will become what it's supposed to be, fuel for your body and mind. The box below gives you some options for a diet plan. You can find many more online and should also consider consulting a doctor. Fitness plan diet 1. Count your calories. Diet is simple arithmetic. Calories in minus calories out will tell you if you are gaining or losing weight. To lose weight, aim to eat 300 to 500 calories less per day than you burn. This is a fine calculation and requires some precision. Calorie counting tools can help you at the start before you learn to intuitively regulate yourself. I recommend the MyFitnessPal app, which is a meal and activity tracker. There are others such as Healthify Me as well. You set up your profile, add your goals, and the MyFitnessPal app will tell you how much you can eat every day. It also helps a database of every food item imaginable, including Indian food. You simply add foods as you eat them. If you use it honestly, MyFitnessPal works quite wonderfully. Track what you eat on the app for 30 days. See if you can take it to 90 days. Continue as needed until you reach your weight goal. 2. Intermittent fasting IF. Intermittent fasting refers to not all consuming any calories at all for a set period of hours in a 24-hour day. Some say intermittent fasting is just a fancy term to describe skipping breakfast. They are not wrong. The most common intermittent fasting duration is 16 hours, done from dinner the night before until lunch the next day. Hence, the skipping of breakfast, if you finish dinner by 8 p.m. and don't eat anything until 12 noon, the next day you have fasted for 16 hours. This fasting results in many benefits such as increasing your metabolism and your body's ability to use existing fat stores. If also intermittent fasting also mimics our evolutionary past where food was not always available, hence humans went through periods of hunger on a regular basis. When you do intermittent fasting, you get intensely hungry near the end of your fasting window. This is normal. Overall, intermittent fasting has one main benefit: it makes dieting simple. It makes it clear what to eat in that 16-hour window, which is nothing. You are allowed black tea, black coffee, soda water, diet drinks, etc. In the remaining window of 8 hours, you can eat as per your calorific quota, which you would have determined through your fitness app. To be clear, calorie counts are important despite intermittent fasting. Many people mistakenly believe that if they do intermittent fasting, they can eat whatever they want in those 8 hours. That is incorrect. You eat your daily calorie quota or a small deficit if you want to lose weight. You consume food in the 8-hour window in two meals or in the two meals and a small snack. Given you have your entire daily quota of calories to eat in those 8 hours. You can normally have two decent sized meals. Intermittent fasting works well for me. It is sometimes difficult to stay hungry until lunch. On some days, I relax the 16-hour rule. For instance, it is okay to do it for 14 hours sometimes. Say the days I am staying in a nice hotel with a fabulous free breakfast buffet, and I know I'm not missing that. If I am sensible about total calories, intermittent fasting will show results. Try it, keep at it for 21 days, and then see if you can maintain this for life. Eat mostly protein and vegetables. If you have a set of measure of your calorie intake, technically you can eat anything if you stay in that limit. However, not all calories are the same. We need protein to build muscle after exercise, and vegetables have fiber and all sort of good nutrients. These two food groups also create the most satiety, which means if you eat these, you won't feel hungry again very soon. A 500 calorie snack would be one big packet of chips. To make up 500 calories, you can have a 200-gram piece of grilled chicken and 500 gram of broccoli and other green vegetables. The packet of chips, while yummy, will make you feel hungry in 1 hour. The chicken and broccoli meal will keep you going for many more hours. These are extreme opposite examples, but you get the idea. Also, when you eat vegetables, the fewer accompaniments you add to those vegetables, for example, oil, starch, chutneys, and gravies, the better. This is particularly true of Indian food, where so many things are added to vegetables that their nutritional essence is lost. Palak patta, spinach leaves are super healthy, but palak patta chaat, often found in many Indian restaurants, for which the palak leaves are dipped in batter made of gram flours and deep fried and drizzled with chutney, is not healthy. Gajar, carrots are a fantastic health food, but only in their raw or steamed form. Gajar halwa, I don't need to tell you, is quite unhealthy. I'm sure I will be attacked for such opinions. Someone's mother must be making a super healthy gajar ka halwa. I'm not going to argue with that. If you are serious about your fitness, Be honest with your diet. Eat healthy for the most part and you are good. 4. Limited unhealthy treats. Life is always going to be full of tasty, tempting food options. There will be parties, dinners, festivals, birthdays, anniversaries, and of course, the fridge and snack cupboard in your own house. Mithai, pizza, samosas, chips, jalebis, candies, instant noodles, sugary drinks, and bakery items will somehow end up near you. You will be tempted. These foods are delicious and fun. The problem is all these items are major calorie bombs. These dense sugary food items are digested fast and make you feel hungry quickly. One laddu can have as many calories as two big rotis and a bowl of dal. While a laddu is tastier than dal and roti, it will not only mess up your calorie count for the day but also make you feel hungry again very soon. What is one to do then when tempted? There is no clear answer. If you are extremely motivated and disciplined person, you will make these treats extremely rare. I heard John Abraham's favorite sweet is Kaju Katli. He once mentioned in an interview that he does not touch Kaju Katli for 11 years. I also heard that another top actor also smells sweets and does not eat them. I am not that guy, and chances are neither are you. If you were, you would be super fit and not need to read this chapter. You may not be able to give up sweets for 11 years, but can you give them up for 11 days? Can you make a dessert a once a week affair or twice a week at best? That to ensure you eat a reasonable small portion. That's what you need to do if you want to stick to a healthy diet. Are unhealthy food items the exception or the norm in your life? The only person who can honestly answer this question is you. One good rule I read about was the one treat every 48 hours rule, where you eat something unhealthy once in 2 days or even 48 hours. That way you are never more than 24 hours away from having had a treat or from having a treat. Sounds doable, doesn't it? 3. Exercise. The third and the most visible pillar of fitness is exercise. Sleep and a healthy diet have few visuals. Exercise has hundreds. Instagram is full of guys and girls flexing in the gym, running outdoors, climbing mountains, swimming, or doing different kinds of physical activities. Exercise is important. Human bodies are meant to move on a regular basis. Today, hundreds of fitness instructors and experts are on YouTube channels, apps, and websites where you can get different exercise plans. Thousands of articles on the internet cover this topic as well. However, if like me, all of this only confuses you more, here are the broad parameters of an exercise plan you can follow. Note that this, along with everything else in the book, is not just meant for you to read. You have to act on it and implement it in your life. A simple exercise plan. Simply put, exercise can be divided into cardio and weight training. People have different aesthetic, endurance, and strength goals. Hence, their exercise routine may be planned accordingly. However, here is an exercise routine that works for most normal people. 1. Exercise daily almost. There is a lot of debate on how many days a week we need to work out. The answer is simple: most days. Most days could mean 6 days a week, or even 6 days a week with 1 day of rest, or it could be all 7 days a week, with the seventh day being a relatively lighter exercise day. Remember, any movement helps, even a long walk counts. Your exercise session should be typically between 45 minutes to an hour. This is a reasonable length of time to work out and something you can stick to on most days. Some experts say 3 days a week of exercise is enough. I would recommend making movement a regular part of your life. As a bonus, the calories you burn during exercise get added back to your calorie quota so you can eat a bit more. 2. Total time of exercise per week. If you daily workout spans of 45 to 60 minutes 6 days a week, it translates to 270 to 360 minutes per week of exercise. This is a good target to aim for and will have significant physical and mental health benefits if consistently followed over time. 3. Split total time between cardio and weight training. Roughly a half and a half split of cardio and weight training works well, though you may tweak this based on your individual goals, requirements, and perform preferences. Cardio involves activities that increase your heart rate, such as running, workout on the elliptical trainer, cycling, swimming, walking, climbing stairs, and rowing machines. Get your rate to a level which you can feel some extra but not too dangerous levels. For weight training days, train various large muscles group of your body, upper body, chest, biceps, triceps, lats, delts, core, abdomen and back, and lower body, legs, glutes. There are tons of videos on exercises for the same, though often the best way is to stick to the basics and do compound lifts, which are discussed in the next point. 4. Doing basic compound lift exercises. Fancy exercise moves evolve all the time, but the basics work well and have stood at the test of time. The classic weight training exercises are pull ups, deadlifts, squats, and bench presses. The chart below show these exercises, but I encourage you to look them up in videos on the internet or ask your gym trainer to show them to you. These basic exercises look simple, however, they involve a fair amount of form, technique, and precautions that must be followed to prevent injuries. Also, go slow on adding more load. Don't compete with bodybuilders. Push yourself a bit every day while listening to your body. 5. The compound lifts, squats, deadlifts, pull ups, bench presses, overhead press, dips, seated Arnold press, barbell row. 5. Run. If you can run. Personally, I love running. Your cardio workout can be a run, at least on some days. A good run is like taking a bath on the inside. Your blood circulation improves, and so do your mood, confidence, and energy levels. Running does not need a lot of equipment or a gym. Start slow with moderate distances. I started running properly at 47. I can now run fast for reasonably long distances. My typical run now is 8 kilometers, 3 times a day, 3 times a week. The remaining days for a weight training or swimming. Occasionally, I take part in 10-kilometer runs which involve road races in a city. From being a fat guy to a few years ago, I completed my last 10-kilometer run in 47 minutes and 20 seconds, which people tell me is a pretty good speed. Again, if I can, you can. Run whatever distance you are initially comfortable with. Gradually increase speed and distance until you can run at a good pace for 45 minutes to an hour. 6. If you are not going to gym, do body weight exercises, push-ups, sit-ups, jumps, running, squats, lunges. These are just a few of the exercises that don't require any equipment. Look up videos on body weight training, body weight exercise, or no gym workout. If you cannot afford a gym or don't have one near you, it's no excuse, work out anyway. 7. Mix it up and stretch. A final tip is to mix up your exercise both to cut boredom and keep giving the body new challenges. Working out often contracts your muscles, hence, after every workout, stretch for a few minutes. Better still, make one of the workout days a yoga day. Yoga is amazing for stretching your body, and the right asanas done at a good pace, bricks, Surya Namaskars for instance, can even become your workout for that day. This first rule has a lot packed into it. Fitness demands your attention every single day of your life. However, it also pays off spectacularly. If you want to be a top 1% person in this world, you must incorporate fitness in your life. It will train you to be tough and help fight all the battles life may bring your way. Key takeaways: to achieve anything in life, fitness should be your number one priority. Fitness comprises three aspects: a healthy diet, a physical exercise, and a good quality sleep. You have to silence that loser voice which urges you to relax and not work hard. Exercise builds your ability to do hard things even outside the gym. Maintaining a healthy diet helps build discipline and patience and resist temptation, qualities that help in life as well. A simple but effective fitness plan is all you need to look and feel good. I am so fat, Viraj said. Excuse me, I said. I am fat, not fit, Viraj said. See, he clutched the sides of his stomach. Physically, you mean? What about mentally? After a pause, Viraj said, I am not mentally fit either. Unable to sleep, stalking Arpita, calling her 30 times, making a fool of myself. What is stopping you from taking care of your fitness? Work keeps me so busy. I have no time to exercise, no money to maintain a healthy diet either. I did not respond. He would know my from my expression. I was not convinced. It's true. Stop looking at me like that, he said. I don't have a life like yours where I can count calories or spare an hour to exercise. Unlock your phone, I said. What? Go to your screen time, do it now. Viraj opened the screen time app on his phone. His screen time was a massive 10 hours per day. Understandably, the most used app was Zomato at 5 hours daily. That's work, Viraj said. Whenever I get an order or am out of delivery, I have to use it. Sure, what about the remaining 5 hours? 3 hours a day on Instagram. Wow, 3 hours. That must be a mistake, Viraj said with a sheepish expression. It is not. You spend 3 hours on Instagram daily. Doing what? Nothing much. Just scrolling, chilling whenever I have free time. But you don't have 45 minutes to run every day, right? Viraj looked up from his screen to make an eye contact with me. I continued. That's how you chill, by scrolling through reels instead of doing push ups or even just sleeping early to get a proper night's rest. Viraj did not answer. I spoke again. Let's talk about your healthy diet. How expensive are carrots or cucumbers or eggs? They probably cost the same or only a little more than vada pav and samosas, right? Healthy food takes time to prepare. Viraj started but paused my mid sentence. Let's see what else you browse apart from Instagram. There is a YouTube, Facebook, and what's that? Pornhub? Another hour there. But no time to cut carrots for 10 minutes or boil some eggs. Viraj turned his head sideways to look away from me. Say something, I said in a firm voice. Fine, I am making excuses. I could do it if I cared enough. You must. Fitness is the first of the 11 rules. You have to follow all. You want to cross your Aukat, right? Or do you want to beg Arpita to take your call? I do. I want to cross my Aukat. Good. Run. Lift heavy things. Eat more natural foods. Don't eat crap. Respect yourself and your body. Viraj remained silent. I made the same mistake, Viraj, I said. I never exercised when I was young. I blamed everything else, made amazing excuses, led me nowhere. You said you had a rough childhood, Viraj said. I did. My father believed in violence. I was frequently beaten up. He also fought with my mother, never gave her money to run the house. We almost never had money. There were constant shouting fest in the house, and the neighbor, that boy, I looked up at Viraj. What, Viraj said. I have never spoken about that to anyone. You don't have to, Viraj said. We remained silent for a minute. I took a deep breath and began to speak. I was 10, did not know properly what happening to me. He was 15, said he would teach me a few things. I did not realize they were inappropriate. It went on for a few years. Now, is your curiosity satisfied, or do you need more details about what a 15-year-old boy can make a 10-year-old do? I'm sorry, I did not mean to. It's okay. You wanted to know, that's fine. And I am sorry I snapped at you. It's really hard for me to talk about this. I understand. You do not have to. You have been revealing some very personal details about yourself. It only seems fair I do the same. But this, Viraj said and paused mid sentence. What? I just am surprised by what? I thought you have this nice house and that you have always had it and you become a writer from here. No, I did not. I did not have easy circumstances at all. But I try not to complain about them. I don't make excuses. There is no point, is there? Excuses don't help in changing things and making them better. No. I will start running from today itself and won't eat junk food. Great. I think we are done for the day. Talking to him felt a little overwhelming for me today. Normally, I was the stronger of the two of us. Today, I was the other way around. You, okay, sir, Chetan? He said in a concerned voice. Yes, tough to go back to the past, but glad I did, especially if it helped you realize where I have come from to get here. We all have a backstory. Thank you for sharing it with me and trusting me. Are not you trusting me as well? I am only doing the same. He came forward and gave me a hug. You are very strong, sir. Not always. I try, said. Yes, what is the next rule? You have to wait until tomorrow. What will you bring me for lunch? Whatever you wish, sir. I can recommend a good South Indian place. My doorbell rang at 1 p.m. Viraj handed me the food packets as soon as I opened the door. My lunch had some Madras dairies. I had ordered a Parsattu green moong dal dosa and steamed idlis. The smell of ghee wafted through the air as I opened the packet. I opened the little cups of chutney, coconut, tomato, and turmeric. This looks tamarind. This looks great. Thanks for the recommendation. I said, but it is too much. You have to help me finish all this. Okay, but I will have just one idli, just one. Counting calories. Great, Viraj. Sit down. Ready for the second rule? I said. Absolutely. Viraj seemed all set. I poured the sambar into two small steel balls. I passed a bowl of sambar and an idli to him. I tore off a piece of the green moong dal dosa and dipped it in sambar. This is so good, I said, taking a bite. I told you. It's great. Thank you. Anyway, now for rule 2.